Good morning, you two. Welcome to Wednesday's maths lesson, where today we'll be focusing on dividing by grouping. Today you will need a pencil, your exercise book or white rose up template from Seesaw. You'll need your 100 square for our mental maths data, and there'll also be an opportunity later on in the lesson to use some concrete resources from around your home. So if you need to pause the video to collect any of those resources, you can do so now. So for our mental maths data today, we're going to carry on with our Mathmagician skills and guessing my number based on the clues provided. So let's see if you can guess my number today. So the first clue is my number is more than 60. So on my 100 square, I'm going to circle the number 60. And the next clue is it is less than 70. So I can circle that number too. So it's only going to be out of these numbers here. It can't be 60 itself because it's more than 60, and it can't be 70 itself because it's got to be less than 70, so I can cross those out. So you can pause the video and just highlight the possible numbers that it can be now. Brilliant. Okay, the next clue is it is an odd number. So an odd number is not a multiple of 2, so you can pause the video and cross out all the even numbers now. Excellent, so I can cross out 61 is odd, 62 is a multiple of 2 because it ends in a 2, so I can cross that one out. 64 is even, 66 is even, and 68 is even. So I'm just left with my odd numbers of 61, 63, 65, 67 and 69. And the next clue is the number is a multiple of 5, which means that we say it in the 5 times table. So see if you can pause the video and find the number that is left that is a multiple of 5. Fantastic. So I know that when I count in 5s, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65 is a multiple of 5. So my missing number is 65. Give yourself a fabulous tick if you guessed my missing number using your Mathmagician skills. So today we are going to continue our maths learning on dividing and focusing on all the different ways that we can represent this. So we have divide. Can you show me divide? Brilliant. So we can say divide, share, intergroups and division. Now today we are going to be looking at dividing by putting into groups or equal groups. So we're going to be into groups. Can you say into groups? Excellent. Let's have a look at today's learning. Okay, so we're going to look at some dividing in some word problems in a context to help us understand why it's really important to divide into groups. So here we have a context of Mrs. Wilkinson. So Mrs. Wilkinson has made 10 biscuits. She wants to put 2 biscuits in each bag. Now to help us solve this problem and to help solve our division, we're going to use some concrete resources. So I've collected 10 counters from my home. This is where you can collect your resources too to help you represent your dividing into groups. So it'd be really great if you can pause the video now and collect 10 items to share into groups. Brilliant. Have you got your 10 items? Fantastic. Let's pause and count them. Let's point and count to them to ensure that we've got accurate counting and we've definitely got 10. Ready to count with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's Mrs. Wilkinson's 10 biscuits. So I'm going to underline that there. 10 biscuits. She wants to put them into. She wants to put 2 biscuits in each bag. So we need to put them into groups of 2. That's right. We need to put them into groups of 2 because there are 2 biscuits in each bag. So I'm going to collect 2 counters or 2 biscuits and to put them into a bag, into a group of 2. Okay, so we had 10 biscuits, but we need to put 2 biscuits in each bag, so they're in a group of 2. So I'm sharing them into groups of 2. See if you can pause the video and put your biscuits into bags of 2 or into groups of 2. Fantastic. Let's see your fantastic grouping. Amazing. I'm going to carry on mine and see if I do it right. So I've got one group of 2, I'm going to take another counter and another biscuit, and I've made another group of 2, so another 2 biscuits in a bag. Then I can get another 2 biscuits, 1, 2, into a bag, so it's another group of 2. 1 biscuit, 2 biscuits, put them in a bag. 1 biscuit, 2 biscuits, and pop it in her bag, so that Mrs. Wilkinson is grouping them to make and dividing them up into groups of 2. So there are 10 biscuits, and now there are 2 biscuits in each bag. Now we need to see how many bags she's got that she's grouped. So we're just going to count the bags now. So she's got 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags, 4 bags, 5 bags. She's got 5 bags of 2 or 5 groups of biscuits. So 5 lots of 2. So our number sentence is, we had 10 biscuits. We shared them into groups of 2. So 10 into groups of 2 equals 5. Excellent. Let's have a look at our next question. Okay, so now we're going to look at grouping using pictures to help us this time instead, so you don't need your resources for this question. However, afterwards you can pause the video and see if you can do it with your resources too. So Mrs. Swinburne has 15 pencils. That is our important information, 15 pencils. Let's double check that she's got 15 pencils by pointing or crossing and counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Fantastic. Mrs. Swinburne has 15 pencils. Let's see how she's going to divide them. She wants to put 5 pencils into each pot. So we're going to put them into groups of 5 for each pot. So we're starting with 15 pencils, and there are 5 pencils in each pot. So we need to see how many pots, how many groups of 5 we can make. So I'm going to use my grouping tool. You can do this with your pencil. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've crossed and counted 5. Then I can put them in a group. I'm just going to draw a little pot around them. So I've got 1 pot of 5 because Mrs. Swinburne wants to put 5 pencils in each pot. Now I've got some pencils left. So I'm going to see if I can make another pot of 5. So another group of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. So I can put those 5 in a group too. Those 5 in a pot. So far I've got 2 pots of pencils. Let's see if I've got 5 more left to make another pot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fantastic. So they can go in another group, another pot of pencils. Now I can see how many groups I've got. I've got 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So there are 3 pots. So let's have a look at our number sentence. There were 50 pencils. We divided them and put them into groups of 5, and it equals 3 pots. Well done, Year 2. See if you can pause the video now and have a go at questions 1, 2 and 3. Excellent, well done, Year 2. Now we're going to look at representing dividing into groups in a different way using a number line. So this is an example of question 4a that we're going to try together, and then you can have a go at question 4 by yourself. So we've got to use the number line to help you show 30 divided into 10. Now I know I've got 30 altogether because if you look at the end of the number line, it finishes on 30. Now here, instead of grouping by collecting the objects, I've grouped my numbers instead. So here I have 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. So I've got 30 is made of something equal groups. Well, I've counted my groups and I have got 3 equal groups, and they are equal groups of something. Well, this group starts on 0 and goes all the way to number 10, so that is one equal group of 10. This one goes to 20, so that's another equal group of 10. And then all the way to 30, which makes another equal group of 10. So I've got 3 equal groups of 10. Fantastic. See if you can pause the video now and have a go at question 4 all by yourself. Fantastic work, year 2. You are doing so well with dividing and looking at, especially today, at dividing into groups. Now let's have a look at question 5 together. So Eva is putting 24 pencils into pots. Now I'm going to pause there and see if I can find the most important information. See if you can pause the video and find the most important numbers and words too. Excellent. The most important part was 24 pencils. Actually, it could be 24 dogs or 24 biscuits, but for this question we need to be looking at the pencils. So I've got 24. Now I don't need to count them because they've told me there's 24, so I know straight away how many there are. She puts 2 pencils into each pot. Now 2 pencils into each pot means that she's putting them into groups of 2. Brilliant. So we're dividing into groups of 2 today. So let's see how we can do that. So I need groups of 2 in each pot. So I'm going to draw a pot for every group of 2. So how many pots does Eva need? So that I've got 1 pot. So I've got 2 pencils in that pot, 2 pencils in another pot. See if you can pause the video and put your pencils into pots of 2 by either drawing the pots or drawing around into pots of 2. Brilliant. I'm going to finish putting mine into pots of 2. So each of my boxes represents a pot or a group. So there are my pots. Now I need to see how many pots I have. So I started with 24 pencils. I divided them or put them into groups of 2. So I need to see how many pots it took. So 1 pot, 2 pots, 3 pots, 4 pots, 5 pots, 6 pots, 7 pots, 8 pots, 9 pots, 10 pots, 11 pots, 12 pots. So 12 divided by 24 divided by 2 equals 12. So Eva needs 12 pots. See if you can pause the video now and finish question 5 and have a go at question 6. Fantastic work on dividing today, year 2. I'm so proud of you. I can't wait to see you upload your brilliant maths work onto Seesaw. And if you've been using your resources from home, don't forget to upload a photograph so we can see your fantastic work that you've been doing. On the next few slides you'll see the answers, so don't forget to mark your work before you upload it too. Have a lovely rest of your day and I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's maths lesson.